everybody, welcome to another episode of the James Brown Podcast. I'm your host, Raj, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Spencer.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, and welcome to the winter season of anime.
The mic's really close to you.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's closer to you.
Look at this. I'm like leaning into my big boy here. Oh, man. Welcome back. So,
gross.
We had a long break from podcasting, only because we were waiting for this day. The day where we finally got to review almost everything that released for the new winter season.
Yep.
So that's exciting. Before we start with what we didn't like, what we liked, all that stuff, what we didn't even try to watch, let's talk about us. Because you know that you come here for us. I mean, anime, that's second tier.
You died.
I died.
You finally died in D&D.
It was actually really depressing.
I honestly thought it would be me, because every session we have, I come this close to death, just because I'm so goddamn squishy in that game.
Yeah.
And I think I hit with my dice 3 times in the entire session. I missed so often. I was so angry.
I'm a KO machine. But the thing is, I let it go to my head. And I can flip between using a bow and arrow and 2 swords back and forth all the time. But what happened was we ended up in a town that was desolate. This was after we had that horrible accident with the river and my boar being a boss swimmer and all that stuff, right? We end up back at this place called Thunder Tree where we meet a druid, and the druid's like, we almost killed him, but we actually refrained this time, which is interesting, probably because you weren't in the room.
I don't know.
You couldn't get in because he trapped us in there. But anyways,
no, I wasn't.
The druid's like, yo, man, I'm a druid, and I really like nature, and everything needs to be balanced, bro. And there's a dragon and a bunch of cultists, and help. And I'll tell you where to go for your main quest. I'm like, this guy, yes. So we're like, we come to a crossroads, and we fight a couple big spiders and all this stuff, so whatever.
I almost die again.
We're pretty low on health. Like, low on spell slots, low on health.
I just want to say, so if you don't remember, Spencer has a pet boar. I have the ability to summon familiars from another universe or whatever and use them for myself. And so I do that like every session, and I always use them. The DM knows me because I always use them to scout ahead because I'm so afraid of getting hurt. And he punishes me for this because every time I send one to scout ahead, he murders it outright. It gets surrounded and dies. And then that sends me in-game into a frenzy, and I try my utmost to kill it. And Grom is so tired of me. He sees me run off on my own, and he's like, Delane, you stupid bitch, you're gonna die again. And he like just hustles after me. It was pretty funny. But I legitimately, like, out of character, I have no problem with Spencer. In character, I hate his guts. I despise him and his stupid pig. Because the day the pig started to exist, Spencer's like, I have a great plan. Raj, just get on all fours and everything will be fine. And I was like, all right, I'll trust him this one time. So I got on all fours. For the entire fight, I was being manhandled and groped because of Spencer. And ever since that day,
I thought it would work.
Ever since the day, I have not trusted this stupid pig.
And you never telepathically linked with me again. I realized that.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna like go into this house and like you like signal to tap your head. And I was like, and then I turned to the DM, was like, I ignore him. I walk away.
Oh gosh! So you have a vendetta against my pig because at one point I had in character said that something about I'd laughed at his.
He laughed at the death of my familiars, which I was making a grave for, and that made me angry in character because I really like my familiars because they're the only friends I have because my character's kind of a loner.
So we have
So basically, in the fight, so what happened is I took one of my turns in the fight because there's no enemies around me. I went to the stupid pig and I grabbed him by the face and I said, "A tiefling never forgets." And then I walk away and the DM's like, "Opportunity attack. The pig shanks you." And then I dropped.
I rolled full damage.
I dropped a half HP from this stupid pig,
and my pig let out a hawk like.
I was so mad. So fight ends. Spencer finds a health potion. He grabs it. Spencer is so freaking selfish in this game. It pisses me off in character. It pisses me off so much in character. And so we find another we find like this guy with 3 potions. There's a potion of speed. Was it? Potion of giving you mind reading and another potion of health. And Spencer's like, mind reading? Oh, and this is what Spencer does. And it's so irritating. He's like, before anybody can do anything, I drink it. Like, he doesn't, and then if you try doing that, no, I already did it. It's done. I stashed it away. And I was like, really? And then I told you, I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure that's a one-time use. You're like, no, I get the magic forever. And then
I thought it did. I don't know anything about magic.
It was obvious.
I'm a little halfling.
And then so I was like,
nobody saw me drink it. You didn't even see me drink it either.
no, but I was telling you out of character.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Don't drink it. Save it for later.
But I drank it and no one did it. And then I used so I was like, oh, I have a minute left to use this. So I used it on Barry the pig.
But you can't read his mind because his intelligence is too low.
Yeah.
So you heard nothing but oinks.
So I heard nothing but oinks.
And then so I was like, okay, I'm at half HP. I'm going to drink this potion, which Spencer identified. So I drink it, and the DM's like, you're poisoned, you die. So I went down, and I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, Spencer rolled too low, so he identified it wrong. My rage against Spencer escalated so
Pat
much.
rolled it wrong. Spencer didn't do nothing. Pat was the one who misidentified it.
And then the DM's like, okay, roll to save yourself or you're legitimately going to die. So I saved myself. I figured out I can roll to save, but I can't roll to hit. Because when I fought your stupid pig later, I rolled to save from his damage because I would have died. Anyway, we go into a stupid-ass tower. Spencer runs. He's like, I'm Pat Anderson.
Yeah, okay, so
I'm super strong.
Before we go into this tower, we're at a point where we're like, do we fight the cultist of the dragon? Do we fight the dragon? And I was really tired. Like, it was getting really late, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just get this done. Like, we're going to win anyways, whatever. So I run into the tower, and I'm like, I am Pat Anderson, and I will win.
You gave me the actual health potion for the first guy you stole, and you're like, that mix is cool, right? I'm like, no, not at all. I still hate you.
But it made you a little better.
It calmed me down.
Calmed you down a little bit.
Anyway, so Spencer runs in, opens up the door, poison smoke billows out, and the DM's like, roll 12d6 worth of damage.
I had to roll an equivalent of almost 72 HP damage. And in this game, you're permadead if you go down health. If you go down, like, negative health 2 times your max health.
So that's equal to your max health.
Yeah, so if I have 20 HP max, and I'm sitting at 20 HP, if I take 40 hit points and go negative 20, I'm dead.
Yep.
If I'm at 15 health points, if I take negative 35, I'm dead. I think you understand that.
So this was super intense, and you actually saved, and we were on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, I saved, and I was like, and so I'm like, I'm pretty much, you boost back to 0, and I'm out. So everyone, healed me, and I was at 15, and I'm like, Dave's like, I have one more heal. Should I use it on you? I'm like, oh, no, it's fine, whatever.
So in character, I was like, oh god, he lived. Out of character, I was like, thank God, I don't want Spencer to die. So we go in, we fight the dragon, things are going okay. I miss all my attacks as per usual.
Mike had a sweet...
Yeah, Dave's character was lifted off the ground and then dropped, and then Mike cast the spell of Featherfall.
Yeah.
So Dave was fine. He didn't actually die from the fall damage, which was really good.
Which was really cool, and he got MVP for that night.
And so we all ran up the tower. I was the slowest because I had started outside when all of you went inside, because I always stay at the back because I don't trust you people. And then you get to the tower.
This was my demise. I hopped on Barry, and because I'm so small, and... You know what? Think of it. It's so ironic that me and Barry, whatever. So I hop on Barry and my movement speed is doubled. Then I use dash instead of attack and my movement speed is doubled again. So I'm at 80 feet movement. So I go, okay, I'm going to do this. And I move. And I think the DM moved me a little too far. But anyways, I pretty much got all the way to the front of the line at the top of the tower.
Which is where I was trying to get to as well.
And then my turn was over. Dragon was outside doing nothing. And then my turn came again. I'm like, okay, I ready an action where if the dragon flies into view, I shoot him with my arrow. Right? Dragon flies into view, shoot it with my arrow, roll a great damage roll, and I triggered a flag, my second flag trigger with this stupid dragon, where if anyone gets him down to half health, he lets another poisonous billow out.
Another 12d6 of damage. So the boar insta-dies.
Yeah.
It's just gone. You did the most intense rolls.
I rolled 11 dice, because I was at 15, right? So I needed to roll 35 damage. And I had rolled 11 dice, and I was at 33 on my count. So if I rolled a 1, I would have lived.
Yeah.
And if Dave had given me 5 extra HP, I would have lived too. And I rolled the dice, and it was like, it was a 4. And I was like,
there was...
I was like, oh my gosh.
There was laughter, followed by silence.
Yeah.
And I was like, I screwed up, because again, out of character. I love Spencer's character, and I didn't want him to die, so I freaked out in character, which I shouldn't have done, and I picked up Spencer, and I was like, no! And then I kicked the boar's body off the stupid tower.
So it fell like hundreds of feet to the ground.
And then it made a splat, and I laughed at it. Stupid pig.
So we're all sitting, we all kind of eject from the game, and we're like,
what do we do?
Wow. And then and I'm like, am I dead? And at one point, the DM had offered me an impromptu poison cloak, and I was like, I'm I'm not going to take it because I don't want to just get given items to make my journey better.
It's because at first you weren't supposed to get anything, and then he's like, "This might be too hard," so then he offered it to you.
But I was like, no, like I'm going to man up. So
I got an elven cloak too. It's nice.
So we're sitting here and we're all like staring at each other out of game, like, and Dave's like, hold on, and then Dave's like, isn't that guy a druid? Like a really high level druid? And the DM's like, hey, he's moderately, probably like level 13 or something. And Dave's like, so he pulls open the book and flicks. And I'm sitting here just like moping because I'm like, I really like my character. And Dave's like, I got it. And he points at a spell called Resurrection. Reincarnation. And he's like, this is it. This is the spell. And then he's reading it. It costs about 1,000 gold worth of materials. And this is the best part, is they can bring me back, but I have to roll for my race. So I have to roll a dice to pick what race I am. So if I come back and I'm not a halfling, my folk hero role will not exist anymore because I try to tell people that I'm Pat Anderson, the
also,
halfling.
His entire
no
purpose,
one will believe me.
his entire purpose to get money is so we can reunite with his beloved, who would never recognize him if he's a different race.
So it won't even. So I'm gonna have to like change everything about my character because it's gonna be so weird. So now
so cool.
The guys are going on a quest for me to the volcanic mountaintop of Mount Doom,
which is weird or it's awkward for my character because my character wouldn't go on that quest.
So you have to figure that out.
I don't know why I would.
Yeah. Maybe you just don't come to the session. So anyways, I'm going to be taking over this filler character we have created of like a girl that Pat Anderson actually saved.
She's fun.
In the prison. She's actually like a really fun magic.
She's a sorceress who can't control her magic, so you roll and you do a random spell.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Pretty fun. And it's going to make sense because I saved her from prison like way back in the day.
So she would
help me. She would. And Mike carried the corpse of my boar. And after all those conversations, Mike's like, can we save the boar? And we're like, no, man, the boar's dead.
I asked if we could eat the boar. They're like, it's poisoned.
Yeah, it is poisoned. It would go right into you. So now we have a motley crew on a quest that everyone's stoked about because it doesn't exist in the book.
It's something we came up
with. And the DM's like coming up with all this really fun stuff to like think about what he wants to do. And I'm like... And everyone's like, we will get you back. And Dave was talking about how he's going to change his character to kind of fit what happened. Like, he's going to use way more support and defensive skills because he's like, we were all way too arrogant. Like, this game can kill us if we're not careful. We had no spells. We would sometimes do cure wounds. Like, we had no defensive. It was all offensive. And it screwed us over.
And I can't even hit my offensive
We are
spells.
Lucky. Like, you should have died. I definitely should have died.
I would have been okay with dying because I would actually really like to make a new character. The only reason I don't really want to lose Delaney is because I really like the backstory I made for her, first of all. Second of all, that elven cloak is super awesome, and I really like it. And it's a really cool item. And if I die, I'd like to give it to my new character. But if I could, can I retire my character? Is that a thing?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay, so that was D&D, and we're not going to have another session for like 2 or 3 weeks now, which is kind of sad.
That's how it usually goes.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of
we're busy adults, work and junk.
So we released a premiere series.
We have a new series called JNBPlays, which is Spencer and I doing Let's Plays.
And we apologize for any of the technical troubles that we had in the past Let's Play that we just did. We were having some trouble with the video recorder, and it is a new thing. And if you listen to our old first podcast, you'd understand that we get better with time if you just give us time.
So all you iTunes and Podomatic listeners, head over to our YouTube page. Just look up James and Brown Podcast and you'll find us. And give it a watch if you'd like. We played League of Legends for our first Let's Play. So we're thinking of doing a Let's Play every other week and still continuing on with a normal podcast because we asked, and people want us to continue with podcasts more than they would like Let's Plays.
Which makes sense. I mean, podcasts are more on the go, while Let's Plays are more sit down at your home and all that stuff.
However, we also got a lot of requests for more series reviews, and we only really do series reviews when we don't have any anime to cover weekly, which is usually at the end of a season. So that's like, every 3-4 months? So we're going to try to up that to what we think is reasonable, one series review a month, which is doable, I think. 1 month is a good amount of time for us to review a series.
Because then we can take the time in between every week to watch those series, and then we'll find a day to throw on half an hour to hour podcast. So there's that.
So you got a lot more stuff to look forward to now.
And please recommend any games that you want us to play. We're looking for...
We already got quite a few
Quite
recommendations.
a few recommendations.
You know who you are. I was waiting for the Hatoful Boyfriend recommendation. I knew it was coming.
We want to play a horror game potentially next. Just because I hate them
I
and I will
love horror,
scream like a girl.
And Spencer gets scared super easily.
So if you have a really good one that isn't too like, I don't know how to explain it. Whatever. Just send it over and we'll play it. Because obviously recommendations are cool. And if you really want to see our faces when we play, we can maybe work that out. Shouldn't be too hard. But right now it's just our voices are silky and you don't need to see our faces.
Did you say silky?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think I said?
No, it was just kind of strange.
Okay, cool. So, the beginning of winter always, or any season in that matter, always starts with us marathoning series. And
this was the one season I didn't want to marathon because I really just wanted to watch anime. But I kept my promise to you.
what this does to us, however, is during that marathon period, we get far more calloused in that 12-hour period that we are sitting there watching anime.
We're so critical of series.
So we drop series pretty fast if they're just, we know they're garbage. If we know they're garbage, but people think they're popular, then we know we're kind of missing something. We'll give it 3 episodes. If it just gets us right away, then we're in right away. Like that's kind of like something needs to go bam in order to keep our attention. Because, there's a lot of crap out there, just going to be fair. Lesbian Bear Storm. And Raj will be following a bunch of series by himself, especially the Holy
usual.
Trinity ones.
Oh my god, this is such a good season for harem. There's so much. The Holy Trinity, if you're wondering, is High School Life, ecchi, Supernatural. That is the Holy Harem Trinity. And oh my god, do I love it. And there's so much of it. King Charles, is that your TV's name? Mm-hmm. I thought your TV's name was like Bill or something.
No.
Huh. It's so good. It's not. It's just. It gets me here in the heart. I love it. So we have quite a few to talk about. We'll start with what is probably the worst of the Holy Trinity, Absolute Duo. So Absolute Duo is the typical guy goes to a high school. Everybody in high school has a special power. Guy's special power is somewhat unique. It's a regular Magic High School, but more ecchi. The only problem with this one is that all the characters are kind of crappy, and the CG is kind of crappy, and all their moves are named really badly, and just overall, so far, it's not very good.
So the Spencer rating on this was, I was sitting on the couch trying to edit our Let's Play, and I look over, and I see kind of a funny scene where Kirito... Oh, sorry. Did I mess that up?
God damn it.
So anyways, where this main character... Kirito was in so many animes.
He is.
Anyways, this main character is sitting by a girl who's doing this really funny stare thing. That was pretty funny.
That was a really good.
But then they get assigned to the same room, and they're forced to go in there. And I was like, okay, goodbye.
Spencer has he's against a young man and a woman living together.
No, I'm against ecchi anime. So there's that. And I have some exceptions if the story is amazing and it can be looked over. But in this regard, it
Spencer,
could not be looked over.
do you know what he did, though? He put his jacket on top of her.
Did he?
Yeah.
Do you see the teacher?
Yeah, I did.
The bone.
She reminds me so much of the teacher in Norin. It's hilarious. Anyway, I'm still following this since it's part of the Holy Trinity, and it's not good, but that's why I watch it. It's like junk food, you know?
You know, like I said, if they take the time to animate the boobs,
then it's a drop for you.
Then it's a drop. And I've never been wrong, because they've always turned out horrible.
Didn't No Give No Life to have that, though?
Yes, it wasn't horrible. I've been wrong a couple times, but it's like sifting gold from sand. Sometimes some sand passes through, but mostly you get the gold out of there. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another one in the Holy Trinity, which is significantly better than Absolute Duo, Unlimited Fafnir.
Never watched it.
So this anime, again, is about a guy going to high school with a special power that everybody else has. Okay, the reason I like this one is because the character design is... It kind of reminds me of Black Bullet, and I really like Black Bullet's character designs. It's about the only thing I like about Black Bullet, but...
Black Bullet sucked.
This anime... And I like the story where every main character has had a past life, and then those with special powers remember all about their past life. So the main character was this, like, holy knight in his past life, and he had, like, this sweet armor, and he was super OP, and then, like, he's a wimp now, and then he's, like, I know I was awesome before, but I don't know how to do it now. He's like, and then he meets like the girl he fell in love with way back in the last life, and she's like in love with him. He's like, listen, I'm not that person anymore. I'm this new guy who can't do anything, and just leave me alone. It's pretty good. And then we got to the action, and then I threw up because holy crap, the amount of garbage CG. Okay, I want to describe this to you. The opening scene, Spencer, was the main character flying through the air, having a sword fight with a CG dragon. I could take that. And then he said, I'm going to use my ultimate technique. He takes out his finger, and he starts writing in the sky. He writes for 2.5 minutes. And then when he finishes writing, all the writing goes into his sword and does this huge electric attack and is over. And I was so disoriented, and it was just garbage. But I like the characters. And the main girls are soon.
Sounds like garbage.
Like I said, it's junk food. Still watching it, and I actually really like it, despite the action scene. Next is KanColle. This is the anime adaptation of Kantai Collection. To put it short, Arpeggio was a lot better.
Yeah, see, I watched Arpeggio and I actually got through about 6 or 7 episodes.
I can't believe you didn't finish it.
I don't know.
It was so good.
Yeah. Anyways, so I was watching, and then we're like, oh, this is KanColle. And Roger's like, oh, yeah, all the girls are super popular.
No. I said the girl with the bunny ears is super popular.
But you said every girl has a fan base.
It's true.
So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's interesting. They're just women. Anime women don't do it for me like they do it for the rest of the anime fan base. You know, I don't watch a series specifically because a girl is attractive, because she's hand-drawn. And I know she may be beautiful.
I don't know why you put hand-drawn in quotes, because, I mean, she is hand-drawn.
I don't know. Anyways, she may be beautifully drawn, but there is no, like, affection attested to women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I can be... Like, in Nozaki-kun, Sakura was, like, I adore Sakura. She was really cute, really, like, sweet. But I wouldn't be like, waifu. You know, I mean, come on. Give me a break here, people. So, anyways, KanColle can't do it for me because there's not a single male. And with the chance when they had...
Hey, there's the Admiral.
When they had the chance to show him, Roger's like, pretend it was you, man. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
I was like, oh, we get to see the Admiral. I'm like, I wonder how they're going to interpret him. They don't show him at all. I was like, and you're like, what the hell? I was like, oh, yeah, just pretend that's you. That's what it's supposed to be.
So, the main girl is super boring.
She is. She's pretty bland.
I mean, the only ones that I want to see were barely on screen.
I loved mostly the cameo. There's 2 things I loved. I love the cameo of, I don't remember her name, but the submarine, the main girl from Arpeggio, she was in a background scene. That was great because I loved Arpeggio. And I love the fact that when they shoot arrows, they turn into freaking planes that drop bombs.
It was cool.
That's cool and hilarious.
And I think it's kind of cute in the way that all the girls are dressed in little arm pieces or back pieces of their ship. Really smart.
It's pretty cool.
Really cool way of doing it.
But I prefer the way Arpeggio did it, where they were actually on ships.
But, man, the way they flip between CGI and hand-drawn, sure, they did a great job, but you can still tell.
The CG for the characters is actually pretty good. It's the CG for the monsters that's just terrible.
Oh, absolutely horrible. So, I mean, come on. So, whatever.
So moving on to, this is an abbreviation of the title, Sinai. This is the one where it's one guy and a bunch of girls and trying to make a galgay together. And so the cast consists of a childhood friend who's Asun, a older senpai who's super forward with him, and then his cousin and this other girl. I don't remember the other girl's name, but the other 3 are the main girls.
Wait, did I watch that one?
You did. We watched it together.
Oh, okay.
I really like this series. This is such a pretty show.
It was okay. It had all points. Really fun characters. Sort of felt like what is it? The one we just watched last season with the magic supernatural battles in everyday lives. Felt like that a little bit. Had that fun atmosphere, but oh my gosh, the etchiness was unreal.
It was off the charts.
It was off the freaking charts, and it's not something that I'm going to be like, yeah, because this is the way I put it. If I can watch an anime, go the whole thing, and then kind of forget about it, then I don't really need to bear through it just to watch the mediocre story that might unfold. So I'm not going to watch this one. You are.
I really like it. I really like the premise. The main character's pretty nice. I like him too. I like
Kirito.
Is he Kirito?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I like all of the girls so far. The older senpai, I like her the least out of all of them. If you have to choose one,
you'd be the cousin.
I would go for the cousin. I like her the best. But I actually really like the girl who's like super like what's the word, like a monotone, and like just she'll
Oh,
help
the girl
him
at the end?
she helps him
Yeah.
but never, she waits, and then he's always like, why didn't you help me earlier? I just don't feel like it. It's a lot of effort. I like her a lot. She's pretty cute. I just like the story. It kind of it reminds me in terms of its art style of Your Lie in April, just the kind of huge vibrant colors, and it just pops out at you. It's not as pretty, and it's probably not gonna be as good, but I really like this one. I think it's worth a watch.
Did you watch World Break?
I did.
I didn't.
World Break is my second favorite harem of this season, I think. Wait, which one is World Break? Oh, did I mix up Unlimited Fafnir? I did. So Unlimited Fafnir was World Break. World Break is... God damn it. Okay, so when I was talking about Limited Fafnir, that was actually World Break, I think. And Unlimited Fafnir... No.
Wow, so
God.
you mean when harems blend, they really blend.
Dude, they really blend.
Oh, man.
Okay, so when I was talking about Limited Fafnir, I actually meant World Break. Sorry. That's the one with the past lives. Unlimited Fafnir is freaking... This is why I forgot it, because Unlimited Fafnir is... It is Infinite Stratos.
Oh.
Here's the plot of Infinite Stratos. There's a power that only girls have, and they use that power to fight like monsters and crap, right? Or mechs. One guy somehow has his power, so he transfers it to school, which is essentially all girls because they're the only girls with powers. Some girls hate that. Some girls love it. Hijinks ensue, harem. Unlimited Fafnir.
How long has it been this way?
Spencer just noticed I have my arm on his shoulder. Unlimited Fafnir. Girls have the powers of dragons that they use to fight dragons. Suddenly, this guy has the power of dragons. Transfers into a school of only girls. Some really like it. Some hate it. Hijinks ensue. He gets a harem. What anime am I watching? It's the same freaking series. But, this is an important difference. The main character in Unlimited Fafnir is not as bone-crushingly wet noodle-like that the main character of Infinite Stratos is. Infinite Stratos, the main character, is so, one, dense, and two, irritatingly stupid that I just want to bash his skull in with a McDonald's McMuffin.
Those are hard.
It's the first thing I came to mind. This guy is more like he's more like Yuji. He's from the army. He's kind of hardcore. They have the power to make anything out of antimatter. So the girls, they make, fancy magic staffs. He's like, he made a gun. He's like, it can fire real bullets. And, how are you going to kill a dragon with that? He's like, I'll shoot it. It was kind of funny. Haven't got any fight scenes yet, so I don't know how it's going to be in terms of that. But here's the thing. If it goes down the Infinite Stratos route even any further, and Infinite Stratos was really, really bad, then this is one of the Holy Trinity that I'm going to end up dropping. Because, man, Infinite Stratos...
But so far, you haven't thought of dropping any of the ones that we talked about?
Absolutely do. I've thought about that one.
Okay, so now we missed one, but it's Kofuku Graffiti.
Oh, I did my bad. So, Kofuku Graffiti, not one of the Holy Trinity.
We got
it's all about eating.
bored. So bored.
It was really boring.
So bored.
It's all about this girl who cooks and thinks she's bad at cooking, but she's actually good at cooking, and her cousin moves in and wants to go to the same school, an art school, and then she eats her cooking. She's like, oh, you're good at cooking. And she's like, oh, yay.
But my goodness, was I uncomfortable with the amount of sexual references in eating.
Even the cousin was like, you eat so erotically.
Yeah, and I'm like, ugh.
And she does.
We didn't finish the episode.
No, we got so bored.
Yeah.
I was uncomfortable. I was just bored as dicks.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I want to see a girl make that kind of face, I'm not going to go to food anime.
I heard, can I play League? Because I can play League, and I could watch this at the same time. Can I play League? That's what you said to me. I'm like, you're not playing League until I'm done our Let's Play of League, okay? So leave it alone, man. Okay, so this is still the Raj section, because I didn't watch barely any of these. So,
Here's the thing that happened. We saved all of the Holy Trinity for the end, and I told Spencer, because I knew vaguely at least what they were about, and I'm like, you're not going to like any of these? Leave it to me, because this is right down my alley. So, the coup de grace of the Holy Trinity. Oh my goodness, the New Testament Sister Devil. This is the reincarnation of High School DxD. It is so freaking good in terms of harem.
Wait, doesn't High School DxD have a new season, though?
It's next season, which is going to be great. Here's the thing. Okay, so I would like to compare this to High School DxD. This plot's pretty similar. So High School DxD is this guy meets the descendant of the demon lord and then serves her. And then they do supernatural fights, and then she joins his harem, and he gets a harem, blah, blah, blah. Test me, New Sister Devil. He meets the daughter of the demon lord who's going to be the new demon lord, and then serves her, and then she falls for him, and then gets in your harem, blah, 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 blah. However, So this is the weird thing. In High School DxD, Rias, the main girl, is a really good character. She's by harem standards. She's strong, and I really like her. She's interesting. The main character, Issei, he's a normal harem character. With the exception that he's actually really forward with what he wants. In the first episode, she's like, if you join me, I'll make any wish you want come true. Like, I'll give you the power to accomplish it. And he's like, I want a harem. And she's like, you can do that. So actually, every time he meets someone, they're like, what's your dream? He's like, a harem.
In DxD?
In DxD.
Okay.
It's pretty funny. In this one, the main girl, she's pretty... I mean, she's super stereotypical. She's just a Soon, which I like, but whatever. And so she's nothing special. But the main character is so unbelievably badass and cool. It's ridiculous. Oh my god, this guy is amazing. This guy should be in Sword Art. He's so much better than Kirito. Oh my god. So I want to say something in regards to the harem series. In terms of harem, I would give High School DxD a 10 out of 10. But that's in regards to harem series overall. If we're comparing it to actual like other anime, then it would be like a 7, a 6.5.
You gave Bahamut close to a 7. You
I
know
did.
that, right?
I prefer High School DxD over Bahamut.
Yeah, you would.
Actually, there's a lot of censorship in Testament New Sister Devil, and it really needs it, considering all the stuff that happens. Anyway, the main character, I don't remember his name, is like Boss something. It sounds like Boss. It's like they're calling him Boss. He's super sweet, and no, I don't mean his personality. I mean, he's super sweet at fighting.
Oh,
and
okay.
he cuts things in half, and he's like a badass. This demon tries to control him, and then he takes out his sword, and he pretends to cut her, and then puts the sword away. He's like, I don't have the time or the money to deal with you. Leave my house. And then she leaves his house, and then he's like, I'm going to bed. He's so cool. He's such a badass. Anyway, Testament New Sister Devil. If you like harem, watch it. It's so good. I love it. Moving on to something that I don't love. Moving on to something that we both don't love.
Lesbian Bear Storm. What the
Oh my god, what the hell was this?
So we're watching, and we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. All of a sudden, the worst CGI bear claw I have ever seen
Kuma shock
erupts onto screen in all of its cylindrical madness and beauty, and spins with a little shine, and then it goes away. And I honestly, I didn't watch anything.
Kuma shock. It was so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. Horrible, even. Can we move on?
I want to talk about it.
I don't even...
So there's... The plot, if you can even call it one, is that a meteorite came down, and then now bears eat humans. And because...
Attack on Kuma.
Apparently, humans are incapable of fighting bears with all of our weapons and technology, so they erect titan-like walls to keep the bears out. Okay, but the bears gain the ability to shapeshift into humans, so two lesbian bears sneak into the wall, and then they start just eating girls, and then they go to space court with a bunch of gay bear dudes, like male dudes, and then but they're humans but with bear paws and bear ears, and they're all homos, I'm assuming, and then they're they put them on trial for eating humans, and then they're like, hey, eating humans is okay, you can go, and then they have magical girl transformations into bear girls, and then they start eating a girl out, and I just don't understand. And then one girl practices shooting bears with a rifle, but she never actually uses it, and her friend disappears, and they something about lunch on a rooftop and flowers, and I'm really confused.
Speaking of confused,
Kuma shock.
Military was dropped within 3 seconds.
This was so within 10 seconds of this anime, we knew we would hate it. I think we left it on for a minute at most, and then we stopped. We just knew it wouldn't be good.
Now there are a plethora of other anime that we did not even attempt to turn on.
Oh, some of them are sequels. JoJo's, for example, is a sequel, so we're not going to watch that. There's Kami-sama Hajime Mashite, which I never watched.
I read the manga, though.
I read the manga as well, so I'm not really interested in watching the anime. So we won't be covering that. There's Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, which I've heard a lot about, but we have a firm rule of never watching idol anime.
It's fact.
So we're sticking to that rule. There was an anime where a bunch of dudes are dressed as magical girls. That's not getting watched. Yeah, so those are the ones that we won't be covering, but we did watch, and I'm watching at least half of those on my own. Oh, how I love my Holy Trinity.
So now we're going to go through our regular podcast style where we talk about the episode name, talk about what happened in the episodes. We have a few episodes to cover for each series that have been going on through the season Passover. It's a holy day. And, oh, jeez.
What?
Never mind. Anyways.
Kuma shock!
Yeah, thank you for that transition. So here we go. The anime that we're adding to this coverage list is now just going to be interspersed. A lot of them are at the end of what we're going to talk about. Raj, at your request, will update me with what's happening on some of his Holy Trinity series, if he feels like it.
I don't really think they're really worth talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So all the series that we're covering together...
If World Break gets really interesting, then I'll talk about it. But in terms of story, that's the only one that could possibly get interesting.
Yeah.
The rest are...
We learned very quickly that doing a podcast where each of us had our own segments was rough.
It's really tiring.
It is really tiring. Except I would never give up on Kawaii Complex because I really liked that series. It was really nice.
Ugh.
Okay.
So, starting with the winner of winter season, Parasyte the Maxim, episode 13 and 14. Start with episode 13. Hello, Sadness. This was a freaking sad episode, man. Oh my goodness. Having to stop Migi from trying to cut Murano, and the face he made, and then when she turns around, he's like cool and calm and collected, but inside he's dying.
So in this episode, at the beginning, we meet the investigator who is actually investigating Shinichi. And we learned that Tamiya, whatever her name is now, whatever she's decided it to be.
Call her Ryoko.
Ryoko is now hiring this guy to stalk him to find out. I don't really get why she was doing it in the first place.
She wants to find out. She knows he changed somehow.
Yeah.
And she wants to find out how.
But then in the next episode, she backpedals so fast, it's ridiculous.
Because she's afraid.
Yeah.
She's afraid of the power that he has now.
Yeah.
So in Hello Sadness, Migi finds out he's being watched. He tries to kill the guy. The guy gets away because Shinichi refuses adamantly to kill humans for now. I feel like that's going to change soon.
Oh, he's fast. He's like, get out of my way, humans. Do you remember he said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that happens, and Shinichi's freaking out. He's like, I'm being watched right now. This guy's been watching me this entire time. People are going to come after me. When people find out I'm a parasite, I'll be shunned from school. Like, these are all legitimate fears. If he's outed and, it's proven, then he can never go back. And
the weirdest thing, and we're kind of blending episodes here because it's just easier to talk about them both in a sequence.
You're blending episodes. I'm not doing it at all.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm going to do it. And in the Selfish Gene, when Migi was going crazy, do you not feel pity for this guy? His voice, for the first time ever, had inflection. He was actually saying, do you not feel pity? He's a young boy, he had to do this, this, and this.
Yeah, but I still don't feel like Migi felt any emotion towards that.
You think it was an act, like Shinichi said?
I think it was... everything he said was true, but I don't think Migi feels sorry. Anything like that. And all the emotions he was talking about, he doesn't... He understands what they are, kind of, but he doesn't really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He understands that humans get them, so he knows that's the word he has to use to get what he needs.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, he doesn't really care too much about emotions, because in Hello Sadness at the end... I don't know if that was a metaphor when Migi was going crazy.
No, I think he was actually going to murder her.
Mm-hmm. But, holy crap, he was... And
this is bad, because Shinichi's completely alone now.
Shinichi wanted to tell Murano, right?
Now that Murano's gone, Shinichi has nobody. Kana's dead. Murano's shunning him. He doesn't have any other friends.
Shinichi's going to drop out of school soon, I think.
He needs to.
Yeah.
Because this is just going to kill him.
Well, because he's getting the spotlight on him now. So anywhere that he goes, all the other parasites are going to be watching. Because Ryoko is putting him up to be this huge test subject, glory savior of their species.
So in Selfish Gene, or it might have been in Hello Sadness, but I'm pretty sure Selfish Gene, Ryoko basically says, leave Shinichi to me.
That was Hello Sadness.
Okay. He's super... He needs to be studied, and he's useful. He can show us how to coexist with humans. We kind of need him. But at the same time, Shinichi murders them indiscriminately, and so he's dangerous.
Actually, in the Selfish Gene, I'm realizing... that when I pull myself and I become an objective observer who doesn't put Shinichi on a pedestal, Shinichi's raging right now.
Do you blame him though?
Well, I know, but Ryoko comes up and actually has some legitimate points. Parasites have a right to exist.
Yeah.
And they're trying to coexist, and we're trying to learn how to live with humans.
But he's raging because of what happened to his mom.
Of course
if she didn't touch on the mom nerve... they might have had a better conversation.
Yeah, but she was
But she laughed at him.
And laughed at it and used her kid as a shield.
By the way, I love the way she holds her kid.
Yeah,
and people are like,
funny.
is that how you hold a baby?
Just
normally?
like by
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, shut up. And the baby shuts up. And then when the maid was like freaked out, I was like, dude, that's amazing training. Can you teach me? Like,
Yeah, that'd be pretty
That's
sweet.
awesome.
She probably did some nasty things to get that to work, though.
She said she hasn't done anything to the baby yet.
Oh, I know.
So Shinichi has a glaring weakness, which is if you mention anything about a mom and a son, he'll freak out. And I'm positive. I'm 100% positive this guy's PTSD. Mm-hmm. And I'm positive that's why he can't cry, and that's why he has those panic attacks. It's because of his PTSD.
Yeah, it's not like, well, it could be that. It could also be his, genetic makeup has been altered. And
I don't think that's it.
So the end,
panic attacks are things for PTSD.
that poor fortune teller.
That was pretty funny. First
funny.
of all, out of the way humans, and then poor fortune teller, poor Shinichi. The only one who can make you better is the one who put that hole in your heart. She's dead.
I killed her. Oh my gosh, that face.
That laugh and that smirk. Shinichi's in trouble, man. Psychologically,
he's going downhill really fast. Like we were at a point where he was hardcore, but he was still doing the right things. He's spiraling into like Kaneki territory at this point. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Shinichi, if you look at it a bit more objectively, is the boogeyman for the parasites.
Yeah.
Think about it. He has the same powers as they do, but he has no sympathy for their kind. If he comes across them, he will kill them.
Yeah. Like parasites to other parasites can logically engage with each other and convince.
And with humans too.
But Shinichi can't.
Shinichi's outside of that realm. Yeah. He is a monster to them. That's why they're afraid of him, because he will kill them.
And not only that, he has superpowers, and they don't have superpowers.
Yeah, he's gone beyond both of a parasite and a human, so they don't know how to react to that.
I love Wednesdays. Wednesdays are just so good.
So moving on to Kuroko no Basket. Oh, baby, we get to cover Kuroko no Basket on this podcast.
Yeah, we do, and then it's a
episode
clip show.
1. I'm going to full strength. So I was so angry that we had a clip show for the first goddamn episode, and then I remembered, hey, season 2's first episode was really bad. And then I remembered again, hey, season 1's first episode was also really bad. Kuroko has a tradition at this point where the first episode of the new season is awful.
All I watch it for is the games.
It's true.
I mean, come on, let's be serious. If you look at season 1, 2, and 3, how much story has actually progressed at this point?
Teppei's hurt. That's about it.
I mean, most of the story in season 2 was a flashback.
Yeah.
So, anyways, there's recap. This game happened. We find out that every one of the Fantastic Five or the Miracle Generation are eavesdropping losers who need to stop sitting there waiting for their moment to shine.
It was funny is that I remembered every single game, and you're like, when did that happen? When did that happen? Like, I thought you were a fan of Kuroko, man. Come on. It's like a Dragon Ball Z. You remember every fight.
I guess so. But whatever.
So we got a new character, Shogo. He's a prick. He's one of those guys. I will never understand the stereotypical quote-unquote villain in anime that'll just run up to a girl and is like, hey, you want to hang out? Can I have your number? It doesn't work. It doesn't work in real life. Why does this thing exist?
Because they're so arrogant.
It's so funny. Yeah. It happened in Testament New Sister Devil too. And when the main character, he's like, stay here, I'm going to get the bike. And then he left and she's standing there like, a bunch of guys are going to come hit on her right now. And then suddenly you're, hey, you all alone? I was like, you're kidding me. It's actually happening? Like, hey, you want to come play with us? Like, seriously, dude? Are you really going to be that stereotype?
And what girl is going to play with you anyways?
It's true.
Like, you're sick.
Also with a whole group. That's kind of, it's awkward.
So the only thing that happened at the end of Kuroko no Basket is Shogo grabbed Alex by the throat, lifted her up. Kagami runs out and goes, hey, stop, please.
Alex did a sweet ninja kick.
Yeah. Got out of it, and all of a sudden Kisei's like, I'm here. And Shogo's like, it's you. And Kisei says, it's me.
Kisei took Shogo's spot in the starting lineup before the Generation Miracles existed. Shogo's pissed about that, and he says he's going to take the name of Generation Miracles back from him.
Yeah, right.
Whatever, you're not going to do that. You're
Scrub.
dumb. So the only thing is Kisei's leg is still hurt. It's injured.
Very hurt. He had to stop his warm-up early.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm excited because we get to see his perfect copy.
Perfect minus knee hurt.
I don't know what that is, though.
Oh.
I just know the name of it, and I'm excited.
So I'm excited for something to happen. Kuroko is a great series. If you haven't watched it yet, please start back at season 1. And there are probably some of the most epic adrenaline pump moments I've ever seen in anime are during Kuroko.
This
and
is
I'm
my
not lying.
second favorite sports series of all time.
First would be Ice Shield 21.
Which is right behind Ice Shield. Mm-hmm. Keith is my favorite character, and I'm excited that he's in the spotlight. So moving on to 7 Deadly Sins, episode 13, Disciple of Destruction. So that Super Saiyan Devil thing, huh? So he's half demon. He's definitely half demon. Probably dad was a demon, mom was a human, typical thing going on.
It was really nice when the general was taking the time as he was fighting him to explain everything to us and take notes. It was really nice. Oh, he can't use full counter? Oh, thanks for the exposition.
I was like, how'd you know that? Is it just because he's not using it right now?
I guess so, but he could not just be using it. So lots of crap's happening, but it's all happening around Meliodas' fight.
Meliodas cut off Jericho's hand like it was nothing for that sword. That was awesome.
And so this is pretty much all that's happening in the episode is Bon protected Jericho and crew and Gila.
No.
Yeah, he did.
He told her to run away, and then he left.
Yeah, and then he chased after Meliodas because it says dangerous. Got cut in half.
Yeah.
But he stole her magic orb things.
To heal.
To heal himself because he was cut in half. Hawk is burnt. Veronica is dead. I didn't think she was dead, but she's actually dead.
She's dead as dicks.
She's dead as dicks. Grimoire or whatever his name is like, oh, I'm gonna... Yeah, Grimoire.
He didn't even... He's like, I couldn't even follow her last directions to protect Elizabeth. All you did was kneel and cuddle her body, you idiot.
Yeah, you scrub. And so the king is like dying, but then he heals too. Well, he has a big cut that Bond keeps punching, which is funny. So...
I love that King just goes fat whenever he's hurt. It's so funny.
This general guy is OP. He has a skill called Link where he leaves a little orb back home, and any holy knight can trundle their lazy butt up there and put their hand out and go, ooh, and then gives him power. That's like cheap.
It's pretty cheap, yeah.
Yeah. So he's getting OP and more OP, and he punches Bond into a wall. Bond's like, ugh, loses his demon powers, probably goes unconscious.
Meliodas.
What did I say, Bond?
Yep.
Yeah. So Meliodas is out. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, with her fantastic giant...
Gillidan or something?
Yeah.
Gildian, something like that. Her giant hammer.
Gideon,
that's it.
So a giant Gideon hammer comes and just does a ridiculous attack.
I did not think it would actually make that big of a difference.
Yeah.
But, man, it does.
She
crap.
lifted up like a huge chunk of the earth and dropped it down.
Yeah. What a boss.
Almost killed the general Gula. Is that her name Gila? Yeah, Gula and Jericho. And they run away. Then Bon and King at the end are like fighting and talking about how they... Like, both of them have trauma with demons. Mm-hmm. Because Elaine got killed by a demon.
Yep.
Bon obviously has issues with demons. But when King tried to bring up the fact that Meliodas was a demon, Bon just completely shut him down.
Because he respects him so much. Mm-hmm. And he said he's one of the only two people. He's only one of the two people who actually accepted me for who I am.
But, this seemed like a really interesting turning point in the series. Because it's finally like they're getting their resolve together. They're focused. They're heading forward. Like, King and Bon have resolved their differences. Diane has accepted Elizabeth as a Nakama. Meliodas is there. Like, they're all together, right? So now they're going to find the other deadly sins.
And now they actually have a reason to help her.
Yeah, exactly.
Bon and King want to revive Elaine. Okay, that came out of nowhere. I just didn't know you could do that. God, I forgot her name. What's the giant girl's name? Diane just will follow Meliodas anywhere. Meliodas wants to help Elizabeth because he's in love with her, and he needs to get that sword back. That's not a sword.
Yeah,
it's the key to the demon world.
Yeah, the fact that he just went boop and poked the little sword part off.
I was like, really? That's it? Yeah, it's so simple.
But this story is getting so engrossing. I love it.
I hate the new opening. It's not as good. The first opening, both openings were super generic anime openings, but the first one...
The pain and the pleasure all come together, there is no reason why.
The first one is so, like, upbeat and got me excited.
Yeah.
And was, like, full of energy.
I skipped it every time, though.
I always watched it. This one, though, no. Too much English. Speaking of garbage openings, oh my goodness. Tokyo Ghoul Route A, episodes 1 and 2, Faith and Dancing Flowers. So first of all, Tokyo Ghoul's it's freaking fantastic. Second of all, what is with this opening? It is like the lowest budget garbage opening. It is beautiful, though. I don't like it at all. It is beautiful. No, I disagree.
But it is boring.
I think it's terrible.
So, the cool thing about Tokyo Ghoul is the first season was great, blah, 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 blah. Deviated at the end. The past, 5 episodes at the end of Tokyo Ghoul Season 1 were kind of a deviation from the manga. And
no, they weren't.
They weren't.
They were the exact same.
No, there was a few things that were different.
They were pretty similar.
There was a few things that were getting to be different, though.
Like what?
World-changingly different.
Like what?
I don't remember, but we talked about it in the other podcast.
You're wrong.
I'm right.
No, you're not.
So anyways, we were talking about it, and I'm like, I think that going with a Route A kind of situation, sort of like a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, or not Brotherhood thing, right? Full Metal Alchemist, is a good idea, because I don't want to, do what they did in Oremo, where all of a sudden in Oremo Season 2, they're like, oh yeah, did you read the manga or the light novel? Guess not. Loser. They're dating. What? When did this... I didn't feel left out. All of a sudden, I felt included. Like, they're like, okay, fans, you were watching the anime, here's the anime that continues the anime.
I love that it picked up right where it left off.
Exactly.
And I love the direction it's going because this makes no sense. I don't know why he joined Aogiri.
So the first episode was pretty much the culmination and the finishing of the first fight. They fought the owl, they got these really cool super armor stab into your body.
They call them Arimas.
Arimas. Oh.
They're named after Arima.
Oh, I understand now. Okay.
That's why I said it's important.
Yeah. So the Arimas go around their body. They got super fast, all that cool stuff. The owl runs away. Kaneki fights.
That was a sweet fight, man.
Exactly. Kaneki fights Toka's brother, who is Ayato. I had the back.
That was a really short fight. I was really looking forward to it because it was super, super brutal in the manga. But they completely changed it for good reason because he joins their side. So if he beat the crap out of Ayato, it wouldn't make sense that he would join him, I guess.
So he didn't join the side in the manga?
No, it's completely different in the manga.
Interesting.
This is in the manga. It makes more sense. He forms his own team to fight Aogiri, and then he still leaves like Toka and all that crap, but he forms his own squad. That makes sense. This doesn't make sense, which is good because I don't know if Kaneki's insane or if he just hates people now. He might have gone off the deep end and where that he can't forgive humans.
That makes sense.
It could be like that. I would like to see a crazy Kaneki.
Yeah, so
I like evil Kaneki.
Episode 1, Faith, ended where Kaneki met that Ito bandage girl.
So, just want to say, if you ever want to convince a main character to join your side, giggle a little bit, appear in front of him, appear behind him, and then run away.
Exactly.
And that's how you convince him to join your side.
Perfect. Yeah, especially one who got tortured for the past couple days. So there's that. So episode 2, Dancing Flowers.
Hida has joined CCG. Amon has been promoted to senior investigator, which is what his old partner was, and now his new partner is his old partner's daughter, Akira.
Both the guys who used the Arima suits are okay.
Yep, they're
which
not
is cool.
Hurt. Creepy Dude has gotten promoted as well. And their new goal is to completely eradicate the owl, which makes sense because he's the strongest thing
But
there
they
is,
were
apparently.
saying something about him getting smaller and then don't talk about it when they left the elevator, that kind of stuff.
I know what they said in the elevator, but I won't say it.
Okay.
It's actually pretty important. And I don't know why I forgot his name for a second. Kaneki and the rest of Aogiri are slowly taking over this part of Japan. They've completely decimated 3 wards.
Well, Kaneki said to Ayato, you're doing this because you're trying to protect something, like in the first episode.
That's true.
So then maybe he's joining their cause and they are doing something.
So maybe he's going to protect through domination then.
Maybe.
That's cool. I like that. Speaking of cool, his new outfit, first of all, where did he get it?
Yeah.
Because he just shows up with it somehow. And then, second of all, it is so cool. Oh man, when he's running and he's got the mask on, he's got the white hair, it's just so awesome.
It's a really cool series. This last episode was a whole bunch of exposition, a whole lot.
I don't think Kaneki said a single word this episode.
We find out that the cafe they work at is open again, which is nice.
I mean, it was destroyed.
And Toka is pursuing college at the same college that the other guy goes to school
Nishiki. And she's also completely in love with Kaneki.
Absolutely. When did that happen?
It was pretty sudden in the manga, too. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, when some guy goes missing after you berate him forever, like a high schooler, and then all of a sudden he goes missing and they save you, and then he shows up and he goes, I'm leaving. And then he leaves. Oh, man, that tugs at the heartstrings.
He's college age, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Is that weird? Kaneki's probably around 19, 20. Then Toka's 17.
That's not weird. It's like 2 years.
Is it? Okay.
Okay, moving on to our best friend.
But it's so good. I love Tokyo Ghoul. Aldnoah Zero, welcome back, buddy. Episode 13, this side of the princess. So,
What did you just say?
What did I say?
This side of paradise?
This side of the princess. This side of paradise.
That's
I'm sorry. I mean, we did see another side of the princess, so.
Yeah, we did.
So there have been people saying Slane did nothing wrong. But really, Slane can do nothing right. Okay? He failed to kill Inaho. He failed to kill the Count whatever.
Zasbom.
He failed to save the princess. He's just a failure.
Okay, so I came up with a theory, and I'll tell you it after we kind of recap this episode.
Okay.
But I kind of have a theory about what Slane is doing, and it might be contrived, but whatever.
I think you told me while we were watching. Basically, anyway, Slane, in order to save the princess, he makes a deal with the Count. He says, I can save your life by taking you to the space station or whatever, but you have to save the princess's life, or you both die here. So it's an ultimatum, and the guy's like, all right, fine. So they put her into a healing pod straight out of Dragon Ball Z, and then now there's another princess, her younger sister.
Lemrina.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember that name for a while.
It's right there.
Marina, okay. Like I said, put fake princess, even though she's a real princess. She's pretending to be a different princess. So she's like...
It sums it up pretty well.
She's pretending to be Princess of Salem. And then the funny thing is, like, Salem's on screen, and she's like, we must eradicate the humans, blah, blah, blah. And I turned to Spencer like, it's a fake princess.
Yeah, we're like, it's fake.
We're like, yeah, it's not real.
So the first scene opens up with Slane being a complete cow, destroying humans.
I love how much we hate him.
Yeah, just destroying humans and being like, oh, I love you, that's bomb.
Let me get on my knees, Count.
And then so... So Slade is being a jerk, whatever. The Aldnoah boat thing, what do they call that thing? The flying ship? I don't even remember.
It's not Aldebaran, but it sounds like it.
Oh, geez, whatever. It's the flying tub.
We'll call it Aldebaran for now.
They're like at a beach, and we have this like beach scene with the girls, which is like, okay, thanks to fan service.
Hey, man, they were relaxing.
I guess.
And yes, the fan service.
And then all of a sudden, one of the counts comes down in his frozen ship thing, and he's like, I'm walking slowly and freezing things.
What's funny is that while he's walking slowly and freezing things, Spencer turns to me, he's like, so we're just waiting for Inoho to show up, right? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Because it hasn't been confirmed that he's alive, but nobody, and I mean literally no one I know who's watched the show, believed for a second that Inoho was dead, regardless of where he got shot. And then so we see a character whose face isn't shown to us driving a truck. He's like, all right, there he is.
And I said, he has an eye patch, or he's a fake eye. I said that.
You did.
Before he came out, I'm like, oh, he probably has a fake eye or an eye patch. You're like, what? Why? Why would he have that?
I forgot you got shot in the face.
And then he shows up, and he's looking at him, and I'm like, oh, no eye patch. Dang it. Then it zooms on his eye. It's like, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Robot eye.
I was right. So now he's super OP because he has a computer eye, and Inoho doesn't need any help, okay? So Inoho rides the flames through the ice thing.
It's actually really smart.
It was really cool.
He uses his rocket launcher's explosions to keep his mech warm. And I like how when he owns the freaking count or whatever, he's just like, well played.
The team is pretty much GG.
Yeah, it's like, he's like, GG, well played. And then he gets owned.
Yep.
And then, like takes explosion point blank. He's like, man, I'm going to need this prepared.
Yep. The counts and all the Martians or whatever, the Versians, all know that he is a god.
I think at this point, they just know like that he cannot be messed with. If you're going to fight Inoho alone, you're gonna die. It's like Faker. You don't 1v1 Faker.
You know what I just realized? This is like the perfect season for us almost.
What are you talking about?
The only thing that would make this more perfect is Titan was here. Did you see what we're watching? Parasyte, Kuroko, Seven Deadly Sins, Tokyo Ghoul, Aldnoah Zero, Log Horizon. Like, we have all of our big name anime that we really like in one season.
If only there was a Chaika season 3.
Yeah, but we have an OVA coming in 53 days.
50 days. God.
So Aldnoah Zero was really good. We ended up learning, and it was kind of interesting because we both figured it out at the same time Inoho did. Makes me feel pretty good. When the fake princess was like, well, I can't wait to see the blue sky that's scattered because there's so much air and water. And Inoho's like, no, it's the Rayleigh principle.
Which is what he told her.
Which is what he told her before, so she would have known that.
Remember.
Because Slane's an idiot and doesn't know what he's talking about.
I like how Slane is like bows to the princess in a freaking room, all alone with her. He probably just goes to the room every single night after work. He's just like, just leave me alone, guys. I need to be alone.
Yeah, he's like touching it, probably licking.
He's like, he just put his hand over it, and it's like, I love you.
Yeah, I can't wait for Slane to die.
I can't wait for the princess to wake up and be like, hey, where's Inoho?
So,
can you take me to Inoho, please?
My whole theory, pretty much, and it's not that difficult to understand, is that Slane is being a complete mastermind, and he's understood what Inoho has done, and he's kind of getting himself into the perfect position to destroy the Versian army from the inside. But I still won't forgive him.
I completely disagree that he's doing that on purpose. I think that he will be in a position to do that, but it'll be completely coincidental to him. And the princess, when she awakens, she's going to be like, hey, Slane, can you, like, destroy the army for me? And he'll be like, of course! I'll do anything you want! And he'll do it. And I'm like, no, that worked out better than expected. And then she'll go to Inoho, she'll hug him, and Slane's going to be like, no!
This guy.
That's what it's going to be like.
I hate him.
I thought you were talking about me.
No, not you.
Slane's a prick.
So, Log Horizon, episode 14.
Kanami, go east!
We have a whole different anime on our hands now.
This episode had Leonardo the Ninja Turtle,
yep,
a Chinese farming bot dressed as a maid,
yep.
Which, by the way, when it was revealed what she was, I burst out laughing so hard. I don't know how you don't play MMOs, but I've encountered Chinese farming bots a lot. And just, it's funny seeing them personified, because it's not what I picture when I actually play a game, and I've met the farming bots. They're nothing like that. They don't speak. They just farm. It's pretty funny. And then, okay, So Kanami, we need to talk about this because, man, it's ridiculous. So Kanami, in the first half of the episode, before they do the little cut where they have the chibi figures, it was all good. I was really enjoying it. After the cut, Kuma shock, her boobs are double the size.
Kuma shock.
Her boobs doubled, like maybe even tripled. She went from a normal proportioned woman, like perfectly fine looking, to this disgustingly oversized monstrosity.
You know what's
that
funny?
made absolutely no sense.
About Kuma shock?
What?
Is that your nickname is Kuma?
I know.
So it's like you going Kuma shock, and it was pretty funny because I was watching that Kuma video, the lesbian Kuma one, and I was like, your nickname was all over there, like warning, warning, Kuma, hide your women. And I was like, yeah, that's my boy. So in this episode, everything that I've wanted from Log Horizon has finally come to be. An adventure. It's not just politics, people. And the raid gave us a little bit of happiness for a little while, but it's been a lot of politics. But Kanami brings action. She's exploring. She's going from one side to the other. And guess what? I was right. Yes, the world is a whole thing. There's an American server. There's a Chinese server. Japanese server. Like, there are big servers. There's the world here. I knew there was the world. Like, I knew it.
My favorite part of this episode was the Ninja Turtle, and all the references he made to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were great. Although he said Cowabunga, which is the Michelangelo thing, which I think he mentioned, but I'm not too sure. And then like another character's like, I like Leonardo too, and I was like, does everybody watch Ninja Turtles? This is awesome.
I know. So we have a horse who's also a super powerful elf that can warp between.
That's pretty funny.
Warp between continents, which would be super handy, but whatever. So there's the whole action going on in the China server with zombies. Big black dragons.
They're trying to figure out what's causing it, and they said it's got to be something in Japan server.
And
because I didn't know, apparently Japan server is the only place where the expansion hit.
Yeah.
Meaning, and this is important, that every other server cannot hit level 100.
Yes.
Only Japan can. But that means every other server is capped at 90.
Exactly. And what I'm thinking, but I thought, oh crap, can they? No one else, even though the patch only hit Japan, none of the other servers can log out. Either.
Right.
So I thought they could, but they couldn't. So there's that.
Also, we finally met one of the knights, the NPC knights, like the knights at Izumo. Apparently he's the only one left or something. First level 100 we've ever seen. So he's max level.
Yeah, he's pretty...
And he's super strong.
He's pretty powerful. And Kanami's like, he's real. And I'm like, okay.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Actually, Shiro can turn him real.
He could. Shiro can do anything he wants.
He's a god.
So we have this whole action with the zombies, and they're trying to figure out that stuff, and they're relaying it as a big parade is going on in the southern part of Yamato, Japan. And the whole group surrounding the busty fox lady.
They all revere her.
Yeah.
As their leader.
I don't really know what's going on.
Even though she's apparently a figurehead. Regardless, they are declaring war on Akiba by the looks of things.
With their big trade?
But why? Why?
Because
there's no good reason.
There needs to be evil.
But there's no good reason. I just don't understand. What's to take over?
I don't know.
Why war? I like war in anime. I think war is interesting, but it needs a reason for it.
And how do you win a war with undead people?
If you beat them and like you continually beat them, you can just lock them up in the shrine.
Oh,
and
I guess so.
They can't leave.
In the cathedral?
Yeah.
Can you lock up OP people in the cathedral, though?
Yeah, you can't. They can lock him up. You won't be able to get out. Unless you're Shiro, and then he'll write a contract. They'll let him get out.
Or he'll, like, buy it.
Yeah. Hey, Akatsuki, can you sign this? He'll teleport me. Thanks, bud.
Thanks, bro.
So, Durarara, new series, episode 1. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So
I'm just going to talk first because I like Durarara. I watched Durarara a long time ago, and I love the roller coaster. I love the storytelling, love the characters, love the art. Loved everything about it. I like slower-paced animes that have really good story and have a lot to tell. That's kind of a difference between us a little bit. You get bored as dicks whenever anything's slower than a turtle.
Yep.
But for me, I loved it. We recently marathoned the first half of season 1 of Durarara.
You left me, and you're like, you can watch the second half on your own, buddy. And I just laughed at you.
You didn't.
I was like, yeah, that's going to happen.
So I'm going into season 2 super excited, super pumped. I saw all of my favorite characters there. Good references to like a regular at
that was great, man.
High School and all those.
They referenced Black Bullet.
Yeah,
that was good.
Really, really fun, really good, and a great episode with one of the best characters. Celty is the main one. We got to see Zaya again, hanging out with the sister, the Namie girl. She's the She's the sister of the boy who likes a girl with the head cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and we get to see them. We get to see Mikado, Ryogamine, whatever his name is. Kita makes an appearance at the end. It's such a good series. And not that much actually happens except Celti's being chased around the whole block by a reporting group and a police officer. And this police officer, I don't know where he's from, but apparently it's a cameo of some kind. I'm assuming. And yeah, we get to learn that Shinra's, we kind of get a flashback, but Shinra's mom, like stepmom, like just groping the crap out of Celti. That was groping.
That's what we learned.
And no, we learned that they're together, and that you didn't know this, but at the end of season 2, as in season 1, Shinra actually proposed sort of to Celti, and she gave a lot of signs that it was a yes. Like that scene where she's like, "I'm trying to tempt you." That was like a direct scene from the end of season 1, which was interesting. So yeah,
I didn't like Durarara season 1. Slow as dicks. Story, it fluctuates. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's stupid. So what someone has told me, it also has like very little action, but it's not an action series, so it doesn't really matter. What someone has told me is that you only like Durarara if you can get into the characters.
And I have.
I only like 3 characters in this series so far. And that's after watching the first half of season 1, and I refuse to watch any more of season 1. Celti, I freaking love Celti. She's great. Shinra, I love him too. He's awesome. And blonde guy who... Shizuo. God, I love Shizuo. I love his entire story. That guy's awesome. And I love the relationship he has with his brother. I love the fact that he just goes insane. He's great. I hate with a passion. Ever since I saw his stupid face, I hate Mikado so much. I called his plot, air quotes, twist pretty early on, and I was right. And did I not care when it happened. When you were like, you didn't remember a lot of Durarara for some reason. And like, it was like, he started like clicking on a computer. I was like, oh, he's the leader of the Dollars. And then you're like, no, he's probably just a member. Like, no, he's the leader of the Dollars. And then he's like, it's revealed, this big reveal. I was like, oh, yeah, I never saw that coming. That was totally great. Yeah. Okay, I hate his main group. I hate him. I hate the stupid big-titted bitch that's with him. That was really mean. And I actually like the blonde guy. He's not that awful. The Kita, thank you. I don't.
Sonohara's the glasses girl.
Here's why I hate glasses girl. No, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. There's too much to hate. But anyway, you told me that all 3 of them are leaders of the different gangs at the end of the first season. That's like this super big twist. Don't care. Yeah, that's it. The first episode was Celti centric, which is why I actually really enjoyed it, because I like that character. But the thing is, if I only like 3 out of like 20 characters, it does not bode well. Mm-hmm. I don't know how this anime is going to hold my attention.
You don't like Simon?
Which one's Simon?
The black guy.
Oh, Russian sushi. It's delicious. It's cheap. Sorry, I like Simon. He's funny. I don't like... Okay, so Mikado's little monologue where he says like 20 times in the first episode.
I haven't changed.
No, he says, nothing's changed. Everything's the same. The city's the same. It's like, you're just telling me that you've made no progress in an entire season. Why are you telling me that?
No, this is like 19 months later, right?
No, I know. Yeah. But what he's saying is basically saying the city's the exact same after an entire season of anime. After 24 or 5 episodes, nothing has changed, including your stupid personality. He's gotten taller. He still has a face the size of a goddamn horse.
You're so rude. Okay, I like Durarara. We're moving on. Your Lie in April.
Oh, man, I love this series. So episode 12, first of all, Twinkle Little Star. Can I just... If any Japanese people who have any ties to anime, if they're listening to this, I have one very, very humble request. Very humble request. Please, for the love of God, stop singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in English. Oh my God, it's painful. You're grating my ears. That's my request.
Kudasai.
Kumashak!
Kumashak!
So, you never watched this, but Listen to Me, Girls, I'm Your Father. What is that?
Kumashak.
Oh, Listen to Me, Girls, I'm Your Father is this really sweet anime where this guy takes care of his sister's kids because she died. And the worst part of the series is the fact that the smallest one, which is like 3 years old, loves to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, so they all do it. And it's the most painful thing that ever. Every time they sing it, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are. It hurts so much. And then when I read the title of this series, or this episode, I was so worried. I was like, I'm traumatized by all the Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars that I heard from that anime. And just hear, I feel like Shinichi, when he grabs his heart and he's in pain, it's the same thing for me, but I grab my ears. It's like, no, please. There's a hole.
But that's just putting the headphones closer to your head.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
in this episode...
episode 12.
12, yes.
Twinkle Little Star.
Kosei goes out with older Ine-san, whose name I don't remember, starts with an H. And they have this bonding moment. It's all good. He asked the big question, is it okay for me to play piano? For everything I did to Mom, I wanted her to die, and then she died.
That's rough.
It's pretty rough. And then she said, she's something along the lines of paraphrasing here. You have to play because you are a musician. A musician needs to play. And it kind of makes sense in the same way that how do I put this? If you and I gave up anime for 2 years, it would kill us on the inside. We would be sad and depressed, and we would not be the same. It's the same thing here. Just replace anime with piano. It's part of who you are. And Kosei can't reject that part of him since it's so deep into his personality. And that's why she says you should do this and this, blah, blah, blah. She also finds out he's in love with Kaori, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And also Kaori's slowly dying more. I don't know. Did anything else happen in this episode?
So, it pretty much, they're practicing. Everyone's getting hyped up for the gala. He arrives at the gala. He meets this really bratty kid who's like, I'm the number one.
Is Mario? do you blame the kid though?
Not at all.
I mean, it's his gala.
Okay, this kid worked really hard for where he's at.
Yeah.
These two freaking chump middle school kids don't show up. They're late, disorganized, and unready. Mm-hmm. And they're asking me to give up my first position. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
So this kid's right. I totally understand.
Yeah.
So, but he went a little too far.
Oh yeah, he took it too
pissing
far.
all over Kaori. Like, that wasn't very nice.
You don't piss over a man's love.
No.
You don't do that.
So he went, Kameha! And then so it zooms into the Kaori's house, and it's like, oh, she's dead. So then he goes on stage, and he's like, I'm gonna do this. And then we go to Love Sorrow.
So episode 13, Love Sorrow. It's explained why his mom likes Love Sorrow instead of Love Sadness, is so you can get used to sorrow.
She was playing it so that he would be ready for her to die.
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, I'm gonna die pretty soon, Kosei.
So you can sleep to this song every night.
Yeah.
She had a couple twisted priorities, but...
So he was rage playing, which people are like, oh...
It sounded like he was raging, though. You are like tone deaf, man.
I just don't
experience it.
It sounded the exact same to me when he's like, I'm hitting the keys so hard. I'm like, you are. I mean, this, and then he played, well. When little light bubbles start popping out, I understand that he's supposed to be playing.
Oh my gosh, better. This guy!
Sure,
you're in the wrong genre.
But when he's like, I did not notice any difference. Like, it's the same freaking song. What is the difference? Maybe the sound's a bit softer. I don't know. He looks happier. I count on the visuals to tell me when something happens because I just don't understand.
Okay. Anyways, so Raj is like not understanding over here, but what I understand is that his mom did her very best. She got a little sidetracked, a lot sidetracked.
There you go.
She got messed up. She was trying her best to make him ready for when she was gone,
but it makes sense.
And she went Shinichi, where she just totally like flipped knowledge and went 100%.
I don't know. Did she not count on her father?
Dad's dead.
He's not. He's overseas working.
Oh.
He can probably support him.
I guess so.
It would be difficult, but he can still do it. I mean, it's not completely up to the parent to ready their kid for a career. That's what school's for.
Yeah, but she said the cute things like, oh, he's going to brush your teeth and she falls asleep everywhere.
It was sad. I cried in this episode.
Yeah, I was weeping man tears too because when he was playing and saying like, Mom, do you hear me? Like, and there's a moment where all of the stuff...
Damn it!
All the stuff around broke, and then all of a sudden they were like, just relationship of mother and child? Like, I like that. I was really... Oh.
There's two moments for me. One was at the very end where she calls him her treasure, and like...
Yeah.
That was... Oh, man.
And she's on the bed and we see her eyes, right?
Yeah. That, and when he finally breaks down with his aunt or whatever, and then he cries in her arms, and then she cries, and she blames herself as well, and... This whole thing, that was rough.
It was rough. And then it ended where these... Okay, you have a different opinion on this than me, but I think it's retarded. These two women are sitting in a cafe discussing Kosei's life, okay? Yep. And they're like, oh, well, Kosei got really great at piano recently, hey? And they're like, yeah, absolutely, like, totally. Well, Mom died, so obviously sorrow is what she needs to become a Super Saiyan. And she's like, absolutely. And the other one's like, well, man, wouldn't it be really awesome if another person died in his life? Oh, yeah, that'd be so good. That'd be really cool at the piano. Like, what kind of conversation is that?
He is someone who's motivated by sadness. Do you not know people like that? I know people like that.
How do they know he's motivated by sadness when all he's been is sad?
Because, what are you talking about? It's only been 2 years. Listen, no, his piano skills jumped exponentially when it's not the sadness itself, it was getting over the sadness.
His piano became exponentially awesome when he met Kaori.
No,
and
it was
fell
still the
in love.
same. No, I don't think so.
Why does the girl need to die for him to become good at piano?
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
I don't think she
Who has a coffee conversation like that?
She doesn't need to freaking
Hey, you know,
die.
there's Kosei guy, right?
Okay,
Can't wait for the next person to die in his life.
I'll say this.
Hope it's not me.
It's not a conversation that anyone would actually have because it's dumb. However, it's still legit.
I guess in the series where they over-explain everything, it makes sense.
They need to because I don't understand this music
but
crap.
it's still ridiculous.
I am a tone-deaf, monotone man. I do not understand anything when it comes to music.
What about that Tsubaki moment, though?
I didn't understand that.
She fell in love.
She's already in love, though.
But she didn't know. She was denying and denying and denying and denying. And then when she had
So it's basically she got her old Kosei back, so she's re-in love?
she saw how manly he was, like how awesome he was, and she kind of went, ugh. And then that moment where she said she was disappointed, like she cried or whatever, and she was torn was because, A, she was disappointed that she couldn't talk to him normally, because that means that she likes him, and that's kind of disappointing to her, because she's trying to go for this other guy, right? And she was also, on the other hand...
She gave up on him.
Oh, I don't think so.
Maybe it was tears of disappointment that she wasn't the one who was able to get him out of it.
Maybe.
And then I like happy Kosei, though. When Kosei's all happy and like he's all upbeat, I get happy.
Yeah. But like the last thing that Tsubaki did was like when she was disappointed that she could talk to him normally, that was like the flip side. Like, I'm the childhood friend, man. That's my role. Like, my role is to be the one who knows you best and to give you up to the girl who sweeps you off your feet like I never could.
You know what girl who I'm liking every single episode more? Emmy.
Emmy is good.
Emmy is hilarious and super cute.
But it's great, though, because, you know, Kaori's going to die. So we have Emmy. This is so good.
The amount she cheers him on, and then he just doesn't know. She's like fist pumping, and her eyes are squinted, and she's like, yeah, go Kosei.
But she's only doing that so she can have a big boss to
and
fight.
She's like, the feeling of destroying a rival is so good. But she's in love with him. Like,
I like that all the piano teachers know each other, too. I think that's cool.
It's weird, but it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, your rivalries in your class, and then you get your own disciples and all that kind of stuff. So
that's weird.
You're lying, April.
What if one day we have disciples?
Of what?
Podcast.
No.
Really?
My child?
What? No, what? When you have a kid, we're going to make him do a podcast? Hey, Spencer Jr., time to start your own anime podcast, kiddo.
I don't want to... What, are we going to get too old to podcast?
One day.
There are some 40-year-old podcasters.
One day.
That gives us like 20 years, man.
One day, we're going to be too old for this, and we pass JNB on to the next generation.
We'll still be able to podcast, though, because I was thinking, all we have to do, when you move to Australia, we'll have a Skype call.
We've already had this conversation.
And we'll just record Audacity files, and you'll send them to me.
I've already told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed this like a year ago.
It's so easy. There shouldn't be that much delay, I don't think.
I don't know either. Even if there is, you can fix it. Mm-hmm. I believe in your post.
Okay, Akatsuki no Yona.
Oh god, this is still going on.
I have to go to work soon, so we gotta ramp this up a little bit.
Akatsuki no Yona, episodes 13 and 14, Echoing Fear and Light. So these are the episodes. Yeah, you do need to go to work soon. These are the episodes where they recruit the blue dragon, whose name means moonlight, and I don't remember his name. And
Shinya.
Moonlight dragon. Okay, there's a collapse in the underground thing. People are like trying to dig, and Yona's like, I can do this on my own, but I'm scared.
And then the blade chips off and hurts her hand, and she's like, oh, my hand.
And then White Heavy's like, no, and then blah, blah, blah.
So then...
Anyway, they break out.
Yeah.
Hawk, total badass.
Yeah.
Is it Hawk? It is Hawk, right? Yeah, it is Hawk. I was thinking about Hawk from Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh, hello.
Could you imagine this stupid pig pointing his head out?
So hardcore.
Yona hime. So Hawk opens up. They all leave. Blue Dragon comes with her. His blood boiled backwards.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that I felt went a little too fast with this guy. Like they're kind of rushing his relationship a little bit.
I don't know
because there was a lot of baggage there, and then he just went, and he's like, oh, I have friends.
He has no reason to stay. But they all hate him.
Nobody else talked to the Blue Dragon except Yona.
But they all hate him.
But he said friends.
What do you mean? They all talk. Okay, right.
He's like, I have friends now, Al. whoo. It's like, you loser.
It's so sad that he can't remember Al's face.
Yeah,
that hurts, man.
That's pretty sad.
The man who I loved more than anyone, I can't remember his face.
After that, I got okay because in Light, he's a great addition to their party. Like, the way he acts, like the little ball and the super silent, like, doesn't talk to anybody but Yona. Pretty cute.
The ball was super cute.
Pretty fun. And
what kind of furball monster is that?
He's a cave dweller child, right? So
I actually really like how quiet he is, because it means whenever he speaks, his words are filled with importance. People who don't talk very much in real life put very careful thought into the words, so they don't speak for no reason.
And they speak a lot through what they do and how they act.
Yeah. And when he said, "Thank you, Yona," it was really heartfelt, and I really liked it.
And it was really cute how all the guys reacted.
Everyone freaked out, and I guess Yoon does like her. I didn't think he did, but...
Well, I mean, it's a harem.
I guess he does. It's a reverse harem. So I guess he does have feelings for her, and like everybody's calling him Yona, except for Hawk.
But I really like that scene.
Yona, don't call me that. You call me princess. Everybody else can call me Yona except for you. I was like, when that was happening, I felt for Hawk. I was like, dude.
Like, he tried really hard to call her Yona.
That's so mean.
But...
And she's like, you have to remember, my father. He's like, and then he puts it down on her. I never forgot. I prayed to him. I'll never forget. I was like, get wrecked, Yoda. That's what you get.
Wow, you interpreted that scene a lot differently than I did.
Well, okay.
I thought she was being really sweet that was something that they shared.
I disagree.
Well, I disagree.
It's like, if everybody called me Mr., or this is a bad example.
Remember when I called you Raj Preet and everyone else called you Raj? If you told me to continue calling you Raj Preet because that was something that we did, then that's fine. Kuma shock!
You want to be part of my reverse harem?
Okay, Akatsuki no Yona was a really great episode. The past two were really good. We got a new blue dragon.
I like when he's in the field and he's feeling the light and the freedom, and he has.
I got a really big, for some reason, Avatar feel from it. I have no idea.
We're talking about Blue Smurf's avatar or Last Airbender avatar?
Blue Smurf's avatar?
The James Cameron's avatar.
No,
they're blue and they're Smurfs. Come on.
The good one.
Every time I say Blue Smurf's avatar, everybody acts confused. I'm like, there's two avatars in the world. It's pretty easy to tell what I mean by Blue Smurfs. Only one has blue people in it.
So, yeah, and then we get the green dragon next week. So that's cool.
I'm looking forward to him because he's going to be BFFs with Hawk. And I feel like Hawk is getting lonely.
Yeah, Hawk needs some man time.
Rolling Girls, Episode 1, King of Rookies. What the hell is this? Okay, so I get a very Kill la Kill feeling in terms of the artwork. I didn't like Kill la Kill though, so there's that.
Also Gurren Lagann in an aspect,
but this is weird.
We're really we're at a point where we'll give it 3 episodes, but we have no idea what the heck's going on.
I don't dislike it. It's just I don't understand it.
It's a beautiful series. Characters are actually fun. It's an interesting concept.
That eating competition was great.
Yeah, I actually have no idea what's going on in the world. Actually, it took like a couple. We were like, what?
One of the girls is a Power Ranger, and she's...
Okay, so from what I can tell in this series, if you guys haven't started watching it yet, is Japan broke off into a bunch of districts after a big war. Then it settled down, and each district got really colorful and unique in its society.
Each one developed its own culture.
Yeah, each one developed its own culture. And then each group had each district had a fighting group with a leader.
Called the Best.
The Best. And the rest... We're the rest.
We're the minions, yeah.
The best and the rest. It's pretty good. So anyways, we start off with a battle where the best, Matcha, is fighting the other best, Kuniko Shigyo, who fights with a big safety pin. And whenever they fight, they have giant, colorful explosions that knock all the rest away.
It's awesome.
Like, even if the rest are trying to help, they get knocked away by the best. Really funny to say this, actually. So they're fighting. Matcha is... friends with this girl named Nozomi, who's
that's her cousin.
Mainish character.
She's her cousin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nozomi works at works at a kind of a sweet shop, kind of bar, corner store thing. She's friends with Masumi, and of course can't tell that she's green matcha. For some reason, she's hiding it.
Let's put this out there. If you want to hide your green matcha, stop leaving the helmet in your bike.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be really easy to keep your secret if you don't do that.
The Masumi and Kuniko are kind of rivals, obviously. And so the Kuniko girl goes into a ramen shop where Masumi's eating, and they have a total impromptu, spur-of-the-moment ramen eating contest, which is hilarious.
She's just trying to leave so she can hide her stupid mask, and then the other girl takes it as an eating challenge.
And Kuniko finds out for sure that Masumi is green matcha. I mean, it's dead obvious.
Yeah.
Same voice. She got the stuff in her bike, whatever. And Kuniko now hatches a plan to get Matcha's team to a roller coaster that took the tracks off.
Which they did already.
And now they're going to die.
The roller coaster tycoon them.
Yeah.
I really like the character design in this anime. I just really like the art style and the animation. I just don't understand it.
But I'm looking forward to the next episode because it might be...
I think this is going to be a samurai flamenco-esque anime, and that we will never know what's going to happen next.
Kuma shock!
Kuma shock! Next, Assassination Classroom, Episode 1, Assassination Time. So I read the manga for this. You read a bit, right?
I read I read really far down the line. Like, to the point where... Spoiler. I'm not going to spoil. Whatever. You know that time when they went on that trip, and their job was to do that thing, and they all got that thing, and then they were all thing, and then he thinged...
Okay, yeah. I got further than you then.
Okay.
So this anime is a pretty good... Okay, this is a pretty good adaptation of the manga, especially with Koro Sensei. They got his speed down pat. Like,
the way they animated is amazing.
I feel it. I feel the speed whenever he moves, and it's great.
His voice is weird.
I'm not a fan. It's the main character from Nurarion, and I pair that voice with badass main character, and Kuro Sensei's not all that badass.
He is sort of.
He is, but he's not.
Holy crap! When he went dark mode, though,
they're scary.
That was scary.
Pretty scary.
So this is a huge intro, and this episode seemed really slow to me and Raj because we knew all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But for you guys who are not...
I still liked it, though.
Yeah, exactly. For you guys who are not aware of what's happening in the world of Assassination Classroom, this was great. It was really well panned out, laid down the universe really well.
There was there's a running, I guess, joke in the manga where Nagisa is often mistaken for a girl. They did not make it any better by giving him a female voice actress in the anime.
Yeah.
Even my friends who had never read the manga, they asked me, like, hey, is Nagisa a guy or a girl?
He's a guy. He's supposed to be a guy.
He's supposed to be a man, but he does... I mean, it's not a spoiler, but he cross-dresses at one point.
So the big moment in this one is where Kuro Sensei has come down, destroyed the moon, and said, I'm going to destroy the Earth in a year. Right? A year?
Yep.
Yeah. And your classroom is the only one that I'm going to allow to have attempts to kill me, and I will be here for
Not true. Anyone can attempt to kill him.
Anyone can attempt to kill him, but this classroom, they agreed...
They had the best chance.
Yeah. He agreed to teach the classroom and allow them to kill him, blah, 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 blah. So, the classroom is now an assassination classroom. They're the worst class of this very prestigious school. Everyone who has bad grades gets sent there, so they're all dumpy. They feel like everyone hates them.
Because they do.
Nagisa has this moment where he's like, no one's looking at me. Then Koro Sensei is looking at him. Koro Sensei also is a name that's implied on kill. Which is interesting.
A teacher they need to kill.
Yeah. So, that's cool. We get introduced to Kimura, the hardcore spy espionage gym teacher guy who's going to teach them eventually how to assassinate
Spoiler, he's
things.
not a gym teacher yet.
Oh, yeah.
Who cares?
Whatever. and then there's Kaino, who apparently is best girl or something, so I don't know.
No, she just talks the most
Okay.
out of all the girls.
So Nagisa is the main focus of this episode. He's often in the central...
He's the main character.
Yeah, he's often in the central aspect of every episode, but... Yeah, it was a good episode. Good attempt at murdering Koro Sensei.
I'm looking forward to the more students being introduced. Specifically, a certain girl.
Mm-hmm. You're getting a taste of Koro Sensei's dynamic attitude where you hate him but you love him.
Yeah,
mostly love him.
You don't hate him really.
But... Yeah, you mostly love him a lot. You
good.
can see how good he is as a teacher and all that stuff.
So
actually, are you talking about this girl?
Yeah. I like how you just know.
Yeah.
All right. Death Parade episode 179. So Spencer is super unbelievably he takes things at face value. So we're going through the opening of Death Parade. We're just going through the opening, and I read that there's apparently a really good series so far, and I was just like, it's just an opening, so I don't really think of anything, because openings rarely mean much. And then he's like, this is terrible. Sammy's going to suck. Look at this. This is awful.
Yeah, I was like, it's all like macabre, like designs and like really happy-go-getty, like opening. I'm like, this is garbage. And then
10 minutes in, people are dying.
Okay, but before that, when the two people got to the bar and the guy was serving them, I was like, you know what, though? I gave Chaika a really hard time. I'm going to give this one a chance.
It's true, you did.
I did give Chaika I was like, look at Chaika's eyebrows and look at his stupid hair. Because we were marathoning and I was so sick and tired of those anime. But that one, so close to my heart.
Saved us with the unicorn.
So, it did. So, Death Parade pretty much is purgatory, in quotation marks. This is where people go who... Actually, this is only a specific portion of where people go if they die in pairs. Weird. But anyways, they go into these places, they do these challenges, then they either get sent to heaven or hell. Okay. So this couple gets put in this place. We don't know why they died. And and they have to do a game of darts where every time they throw a dart and it lands on something, it hits the other person's arteries.
Not gonna lie, if it was you and me, I would go all out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would. I'm really bad at darts, but I would try anyway.
What if you missed, like, oh, I'm good at darts, so
You'd wreck me?
I'd bullseye you, man. So
come at me, bro. I'd throw them at you instead.
really interesting concept because they got brought down here because there were unresolved issues of both characters. And as they're going along, we find out that the woman was cheating, in quotation marks. Then we find out the guy was just super suspicious and got it wrong with his best friend, that he became a really jealous wreck, and it was his jealousy and manicism that sent them down the cliff and killed them.
Yep.
But then we find out that after his manicism was found out in full, the woman's like, actually, I was cheating because you're a loser. Who would ever want to give birth to your child?
Yeah.
Get wrecked.
This confused me because I thought she freaked out and that she didn't. I thought she wasn't cheating and she just said it because she couldn't handle the thought of him being such a terrible person. Mm-hmm. But nope.
So he comes at her and starts trying to stab her with a dart.
Can't blame him.
And they start doing like he purposely chucks a dart and hits her in the womb to kill the baby because he's super jealous. And then he's like, "No, I killed my baby. Yes, I killed my baby. No, I killed my baby." Really weird set turn of events. She throws it and slips and stabs him in the eyeball.
No, it's because he grabs her arm.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's actually pretty intense. Like we're on the edge of our seats.
This is a really good anime.
So it kind of wraps up where we find out, yes, the girl was cheating. The guy actually was poor him. Like he just wanted to have a good life, and
so he gets into the a reincarnation cycle. She goes to hell.
Yeah,
plain and simple. Good luck next time, buddy. I hope you don't get cheated on
and
again.
so this Decim guy, Decim, the main white hair guy, comes in and talks to this girl named Ona, long hair. Ona's like, "Oh, I'm new, but that was really intense." And then the Nonaginta, the lolly white hair girl, was like, "Oh, you'll get used to it."
So apparently there's the entire crew working this.
Yeah, and so I think every episode we're going to get to see something like this. It might be an episodic thing.
I've heard that Death Parade also has a movie, which, I don't know, we might watch it if we really like the series. And I'm liking it so far. And apparently also has a prequel series, which I don't know about. Yeah.
Interesting.
Moving on to something that, depending on how it goes, may be dropped. Yoru no Yatterman, Episode 1, The World is in Total Darkness.
I love the art style. I love the setting. I love the characters. I love where it's going. I like it.
I'm kind of indifferent towards the characters. I don't like them. I don't hate them. I do like the setting a lot. Art style is kind of hit and miss with me. I like half the characters, I guess.
The big guy's pretty funny. I like how big he's drawn.
He got a pipe stuck in his butt, which is weird.
Yeah.
The girl, whatever her name is,
Doronjo.
Lemon or something. Oh.
Her name is, they call her Princess or whatever, but her name ended up, I looked at Mal and it's Doronjo. I'm like, okay, that's your name now.
Doronjo girl, she's cute. People are a little too hyped about her. She's all over Anna Twitter. Don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, she's super cute. I guess that's why. Anyway, the whole Yatterman thing, if there's a big wall and it's pretty obvious that they're not good guys. But then I learned about the backstory for the series. So apparently, Yoru no Yatterman was a series in the 70s where this girl, Doronjo, the ancestors they showed were actually the villains, Power Ranger-esque villains. They're like Team Rocket and they got blasted off every episode. And so they are the descendants of the bad guys of that episode, and now they're our heroes of that series.
That's kind of cool.
That's really cool. That actually makes me like this series more, now that I know that.
So now, at the end of it, Dorothy, the mom of Doronjo, is told Doronjo all about their past, their history, and the Yatterman will help you, blah, blah,
She didn't explain that they were evil, though, her ancestors.
And so, what she kind of did, the girl was playing with the idea. Are they bad guys? They were thieves? What's happening?
And then she says... her mom says Yatterman they're good guys because they were in the old series and they help people, but it looks like they've either gotten corrupt or they were never actually good in the first place.
The girl and the two guys are like, we're gonna save the mom, we're gonna get some meds. So they go to the mainland and then they get sniped a bunch of times, sniped by these two Team Rocket like people.
These guys are douchebags, and here's why.
They look like Jesse James, in my opinion.
This is why these guys are douchebags. Hey, if you come any closer, we'll shoot you. Okay, let's turn around. They start leaving. Hey, I'm going to shoot him anyway. And start shooting him. What a prick.
Yeah.
You suck.
So they all end up washed up shore, which is a miracle in itself, actually. And they find out that Dorothy had died, which is sad.
It's pretty sad.
Doronjo's like, okay, what I didn't understand is how quickly the turnaround happened. The Doronjo girl was a innocent, wide-eyed girl. All of a sudden, she's now full 360, dresses up as a bad guy. I understand Boyaki and Tanzura. Tanjiro being the big guy, Boyaki being the tall and skinny guy, who look significantly better than their ancestors. I'm just saying.
I don't understand why they would follow this little girl.
Well, because that's in their genes.
No, but it's dumb.
Yeah, but they said that their family has served her family for generations.
Still dumb. I don't care if I'm serving this family for generations. She's still a little goddamn kid. Wait for her to grow up first. So maybe they could teach her some skills.
But the Durarara girls are like, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to lead you. And they're like, let's go. And I'm like, whoa, that was a fast turnaround. End of episode.
Okay. So with Yona, this is something that Yona did well, is that Yona took a long time to turn around. To go from being completely destroyed as a person to actually having motivation to do anything in her life.
The current Yona that we have now deserves to be there.
Yeah, she's earned her way there through development. This girl made a full turnaround in less than 10 minutes. That's not right. But I can get over that. It's just the fact that they're following this little girl on this like attack on the Yatterman, which it just doesn't make sense. It would make more sense if we had like a flash forward again, where she was a teenager at the very least, where she's been taught some skills, where she's actually useful and not a little princess.
Regardless, sorry about that.
Wow, sleepy up.
Yeah, I know. Regardless, we stayed up late.
We lost a lot.
Yeah, we lost a lot.
We lost like what 10 games in a row.
We have a rule. We don't lose. Like we never stop playing League at night until we win.
There's two rules. You don't stop playing until you win, if you're on a losing streak. And two, which is a rule that Spencer made me not enforce last night. My other rule is if a pub picks Vayne, you dodge because there's no such thing as a good Vayne player in Silver Elo. And lo and behold, when I didn't dodge, we lost that game hard.
But we got carry the next one, which was nice. So anyways,
I did really well.
I'm pretty tired. You did. But you had a fight with the other carry.
Oh, yeah, we got into a big fight. I'm carrying, so am I. I'm carrying more than you. I'm still carrying, though.
Do you not see me damage?
Did you not see me solo that carry? Doesn't count.
You were screwing up a little bit. I didn't notice you were, but you were, and you apologized afterwards.
Oh, I did, because I didn't realize I was doing this one thing that I was doing, so then I apologized to the guy, and I tried really hard not to do it again. Worked out.
So Yoru no Yatterman is definitely on our watch list for 3 episodes. If it's good after 3, we'll keep it. If it's not, we'll drop it.
We're almost done here. Maria the Virgin Witch, Episode 1, Perfect Virgin. Oh, before we move on to Maria, Death Parade. I actually had a new episode today, but that's not going to be covered. We'll cover it next week. So Maria the Virgin Witch, Episode 1, Perfect Virgin. You don't like the series?
I do like the series.
Oh, you do?
That was a lie. I don't like the amount of unnecessary boobs that's going on.
It's mild,
No, but this one is doable. Like, if Maria the Virgin Witch keeps going at a good pace, because I really like the setting, English and French, in that kind of feudal period. I really like it.
This anime should have been named Kuroko's French Revolution.
Yep.
Because both Kuroko and Kagami are in this series fighting on the French side.
Joseph.
Where's the English?
It's Joseph, right?
Yeah, Joseph
and the other
Kuroko.
guy that we don't know who's actually hardcore, who's Kagami, and they're the same voice actors.
It's so funny that they're together again. I love it.
So we have a witch who pretends to be old but's not, and each witch has a succubus that goes up and sucks
Which is funny.
men to do their bidding, which is, whatever. And Maria is super innocent because she, unlike all the other witches, sends her succubus to do everything and doesn't do anything herself.
I mean, it makes sense. I would.
Because she holds to Christian values, which is funny because she's a witch who's condemned by the church. But she holds to Christian values where you should get married before you have sex. Go Maria.
She's condemned by the church, and yet they want her help in the war.
Yep.
What a bunch of hypocrites, man.
So Maria is OP to no end. And what happened is they had the Holy War conscription where all the men who are fully and able and of the right age have to go to war, which is sad. And this Anne girl's dad has to go into war, and he sucks, man.
No, he's a loser.
Well, he's a farmer, though. Don't kill him. Feel bad for him.
No, I won't.
Whatever.
I have Kuroko.
I feel bad for him.
She only goes to war because Kuroko's in it, and she doesn't want him to die.
Kuroko is Joseph, by the way.
I'm just going to call him Kuroko.
So we go to war. There's actually a really intense fight going on where people are close to dying. A lot of people are dying. And then Joseph is about to die, and he's like, no. And Maria's like, do, and sends a freaking dragon, comes out of a pot, makes a huge fire, like, this is gorgeous looking, huge fire circle.
Great.
Now she's on top of the fire circle, arguing with her succubus about how innocent she is about being a virgin. And it's ridiculous because there's this whole fight going on, and she's arguing about these stupid, menial things.
The funny thing is her succubus, who transforms into an owl most of the time, when she comes home, she's like, oh, my jaw hurts, and Maria's like, this is a running gag in the first episode. She's so confused about the jaw. She's like, why the jaw? Of all, like, why her jaw? What did she do with her jaw? And it's just, you and I were laughing so hard because she's just taking a bath and she's like, but why the jaw? Yeah. Just the confusion. It was great.
And then the final scene is there's a bunch of witches kind of watching the battle because they're probably hired by certain knights or whatever, right? And I also like in the battle that they're trying to kidnap guys, and they're like, gold, we want gold.
Yeah,
and the
makes
whole
sense.
idea for gold is not kill, but capture the knights. And that always happened. Knights would be captured, ransom would be paid, exchange. It was really silly, but it happened. That was the feudal war period. But Vive, this ringlets girl, is a Briton witch who is like, what? Who's Maria? Who's this girl? And then she's learning about how Maria doesn't want fighting and all this stuff. And she's like, whoa, what's going on there? And she's intrigued. And that's kind of where it ended.
It hasn't had a second episode yet, which is too bad because I do like this series.
So do I.
What was I going to say? There was something important. Okay. It's pretty funny. So we have yet to be introduced to any of the English characters, like on the England side. So we're in France, and I just turned Spencer, like halfway through the series, like, is it bad that I'm rooting for England? And you're like, I am too, actually. You're like, why are we rooting for England? We don't even like know them in this anime. It's just something deeply rooted in us to not root for the French.
It's true. Sorry, all you French listeners.
Don't want them to win.
Oh, okay. So that concludes our winter recap and preview.
We have one more anime that has not been released that we do want to talk about called Isuka. So when that's released, we will talk about at least one episode, and we'll see from there. I think it's one of the Holy Trinity, so I'm going to like it if it is. But
so we're just going to quickly go over the anime that came out that are new, our impressions, just like, not our impressions, like whether we dropped it, whether we didn't, whether you should watch it. So
the new ones?
Yeah. First one's Tokyo Ghoul Route A.
Of course we can keep that.
Yes, you should watch it. If you've read the manga, it's different, so it's an exciting new entrance into the series, a new angle. Watch it.
Actually, so far, I like it better than the manga.
Okay. Aldnoah Zero. It's classically good. If you haven't heard our opinions of the last season, we talked about it on the last time it was airing. We were
great.
Super hyped
It's
about
fantastic.
it. Really good. Slain's a dick, so there's that.
CG's meh, but whatever.
Durarara. I believe that you should watch this, but make sure you watch season 1 first, because it's super important to know the characters and the plot and all that stuff. But if you don't like slow, story-heavy, character-developing stories with action here and there, don't watch this. I like this kind of stuff. Raj doesn't.
If you want something to happen in your anime, this isn't the one to watch.
That's wrong, but okay. Rolling Girls. Intriguing.
How the hell do we even talk about this one?
I'm going to say watch this because it's so off the charts, and it has that really nice Kill la Kill, even though we didn't like Kill la Kill, and Gurren Lagann feel to it, that outrageous action, yet it doesn't encapsulate the Gurren Lagann storyline that I liked. But we're going to give it a chance. We're not dropping this one yet.
You missed Assassination Classroom.
Oh.
Classroom. God, I can't talk.
Assassination Classroom is... we're going to give it 3 episodes because we read the manga and because Nisekoi let us down so much. We are going to hold off the hope that Assassination Classroom will be amazing.
It just needs to give us something new that we haven't gotten before from the manga.
And it's doing that with the animation a little bit. But if you've watched the manga yet, we're going to give it 3 episodes and we might drop it just because we've seen it all.
How do you watch a manga?
Death Parade.
Completely ignore me. This is good.
Yeah,
worth a watch.
Really good, really psychological, really heavy on the drama, on the mystery. Great. Good art, too. Really good.
Yoru no Yatterman, this is on the fence.
On the fence because very popular, so we're sticking with it. Don't like the character development, how fast it happened, but the story and the world plot seems interesting. So there's that.
And Maria, the Virgin Witch. More episodes, please.
Yeah, more episodes, please. We want to see the characters flesh out. We want to see where this goes.
So far, so good.
If it gets too etchy, I'm dropping it. Okay, and the ones that I've dropped and Raj is continuing forward with, these are the ones that we want you guys to comment on whether or not you want Raj to talk about it.
I swear to God, if you tell us to watch Lesbian Bear Storm, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Okay, so Absolute Duo.
I'm watching it, not worth covering.
He might drop it because it just seems really generic.
Yep.
Unlimited Fafnir.
It's like Infinite Stratos. If it keeps going down that route, will be dropped. So far, it's okay.
KanColle.
Cutesy. I like it.
But not as good as Arpeggio.
Oh, not nearly as good.
Okay.
Kofuku Graffiti, not worth watching.
Honestly, if you're wanting to like get your kicks that way and that's your fetish, do whatever you want.
If you want a food anime, watch Yakitaki Japan.
Exactly. Oh, Yakitaki Japan was probably the first anime that
It was one of the first for you, yeah.
I ever watched, and it suffered from. Okay, if you want, look at Castle. If you want to add an anime to the bad ending category, what is it?
Yakitaki Japan.
Yakitate, whatever, Japan. It's a bread anime, by the way. He's a baker.
It's true.
It got so convoluted at the end because they started throwing in cameos or references that they weren't allowed to throw in, and they were even commenting like, "We're doing this and we're getting shut down, so we're just gonna." And then it ended. And it didn't get resolved.
That sounds
Nothing
awesome.
finished. It ended with such a bang that they were making the characters comment on its ending. And they're like, see you later, guys. We're running out. This is the last episode. It was kind of a surprise. See you later. And I was like, no, please. Anyways, yeah, it was good.
Oh, that's great.
So, the VN.
Cyanide, this is really good. If you don't mind ecchi, this is actually a really solid series. Thus far. World Break, I really like it. As far as harem goes, it's actually pretty good.
But the fight scenes are...
Oh, the fight scenes just make me want to throw up. Ones that don't make me want to throw up. New Testament of Sister Devil. If you even kind of like harem, I very strongly recommend this series. I really like it. Kumashak?
No.
No. Military? No.
No. And I kept our JNBPlays categories just so we don't delete them. Okay, so that is our preview of the winter season. We will most likely... My schedule's still up in the air right now, but it's going to be flattening out and being way more regular come February 2nd. So February 2nd, me and Raj are going to decide what day our podcast will be released on. And it's probably going to be a day that Janelle's at work. And we'll figure that out. So we'll get a set day again. But for now, it's going to be Fridays. So look forward to that probably Friday evening. I'm not going to have time today to edit the podcast like immediately. So I'll send it to you on Google Drive.
Yeah, you don't have time.
I'll send it to you on Google Drive later this evening.
Okay.
So you'll most likely get the podcast by tonight. So hello in the evening or whatever time in the world it is for you. Yeah, it's been really good talking to you guys about all the series. We really like marathoning. We really like watching what anime produces, judging it. If we were too harsh on a series, let us know. If you disagree with us, if you agree with us, comment on Twitter, email us at jamesandbrownpodcast@gmail.com.
Follow us at JNB. Follow us at JNB on Twitter. Tweet at us if you have any questions or anything like that. If you want a series for us to review, we get a lot of those, but we don't mind getting more. We have a lot of requests for things to review.
Always post your Crepe Corner questions to Twitter or email them.
Which we will be doing next week. We just don't have time to do it this week.
We had no time. Sorry about that. It was really rushed this morning. And yeah, if you have any game recommendations of the horror genre, that'd be great for us to hear.
Yep. Okay, I'm Raj James and Brown.
And I'm Spence of James and Brown.
Looking forward to the rest of this winter season, guys.
See you later. Bye.